Hello again, and welcome. We're gonna hopefully finish up the league with Oops All Spells. A few things, after my last video, Amethyst stopped in and let me know that the only reason I lost was my own errors. So, it's always good to learn from errors. One big thing is I misspoke. I'm really used to making blue mana, which obviously these lands do not do. And so I misspoke talking about using Memory's Journey to put Thassa's Oracle back in our deck, because when we draw Thassa's Oracle, we can't cast it. So that would be a very bad strategy. We actually put Jolted Awake back in our deck, and then use that for 1 white mana to get back Thassa's Oracle. And that being so, I made a misplay where the opponent had Blood Moon out, but I had 1 Talisman, and I could have used that Talisman to cast the Jolted Awake after using red mana from a land to filter through Jack-o'-lantern to cast the Memory's Journey. Also, it's fine if we have the Narcomoeba. It just means we have to win the next turn with that Jolted Awake line. And one thing I knew that, but what I forgot was that when we exile Creeping Chills, we gain life. And so this gives us, 12 or 9 life will often give us that extra turn we need in order to do the Thassa's Oracle line. So, for instance, she was talking about against the energy deck, we actually sideboard out the Vengevines, the Salvage Titan, and the Sword of the Meeks. They shouldn't really be over here with the ramp, but anyways. And I guess the Salvage Titan as well, right? And maybe even Phantasmorgium. I don't think we really need that. Anyways, we sideboard out on that combo that tries to win turn 3, and we just always set up for the turn 4 kill with Jolted Awake on Narcomoeba, or on Thassa's Oracle. What else? I think there was something else she brought up about how it should have been played, and I just wanted to note, it's important, right, that we learn from our mistakes. That's the whole point. I picked up a new deck, right? Never sideboard out the Thoracle package, because they gain life and have blockers. Also in the second match against the, that's against the Dimir deck, I believe. There was a 5 that she would have kept. So we were maybe a little too aggressive on our mulligans. So I think that was the main thing to get back. Okay, so we're gonna jump in and hopefully get through these matches and make less mistakes so we get wins. But even with my mistakes, like I said, we were close in these matches. The deck definitely has play, and it's a fun one and a unique one. So I can't move the cards around here, but that was the other thing. Yeah, when our opponent named Salvage Titan, right, we couldn't get back the Vengevines and everything, but we could have just gone for the Jolted Awake line. We just needed 1 white source out. And I'm not sure. I think we had one of our mana rocks, but I'm not sure. Obviously against, we need 1 white source plus the Jack-o'-lantern is the green source for Memory's Journey. Solar Transformer can be both, which is nice. Drop, regret, repeat. That's too real opponent. It's kind of funny that when we draw R7, we still have 60 in our deck, right? I'm so used to seeing 53. It just looks like we haven't drawn. This is an easy mulligan without, she was pointing out, when you have 2 or 3 looks at a land, that's what you're more likely to draw. But we don't keep hands with no win con in them. So we have a win con. We have Prism. Well, we have 2 prisms, which make the win con easier to cast. So we keep. Whoa, my mouse is freaking out. Sorry. Interesting. I realize I can only put 1 card on the bottom, so I guess I want to put the Thoracle. I'm trying to think. With 2 prisms, I could filter mana to make a Thoracle from my hand versus trying to use the Jolted Awake. you know, it's how important is the creeping chill versus this. I think it's fine. We can cast this. I think we can do that, right? Because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, sack this to bargain, and then the next turn we can make Pinthead Prism and then use 2 blue for that. Yeah. Most of this, not most, but a huge amount of the, you know, decisions and, what's it called, skill with this deck come in the mulliganing. I remember, like I said, I played this way back in the day, before we had these lovely untapped lands. It was a worse deck, but I loved playing it, and that was part of why, is that I'd sit there and mold a 4 and then just win on turn 3, and that just wasn't really what other decks did in Modern. It's always worth looking at what cards our opponent exiled. Interesting. And Emrakul, Yigis, what the heck is this? Exile all cards from your graveyard. Top 3 cards of your library. Put a creature exiled with this onto the battlefield. It gains haste. Huh. Interesting. So it's 3 mana, then 4 mana, so it's 7 mana. But it's a repeatable through the reach that you don't have to sack. You don't have to sack the creature. Interesting. I've never seen that, sorry. I have seen this, but it's a wonky one. Seems like they probably kept a land then. I'm not sure, but obviously I don't know the opponent's deck well enough to really understand. On the off chance that we just draw running lands, I'll keep the Trawler in hand, because we might, obviously this is a graveyard-centric deck, so we might want to interact with the graveyard, but most likely we're playing this turn 2 into prison, and then we're hopefully just going to win on turn 3. It seems unlikely that our opponent's deck is going to interact with us, at least game 1, so that is an upside. They are ramping as well. 1, 2, 3. There is potential for them to Ugin's Lab and through the breach us next turn, which would, you know, not be ideal, but not much we can do about that. Another black source is good to draw. So we have Besiege next turn without bolting ourselves. But I think we bolt ourselves to save a prism counter. So they have Yggdrasil. It's only going to exile. It specifically says one's exiled with it, right? Put a creature card exiled with Yggdrasil. I assume they stack though, whereas if one exiles something, then you can use another one to pick it up. But oh, it only exiles when it comes in. Exile all creature cards. Okay. So we can activate it to exile 3 cards. I assume face up, because it has. I have to know that it's a creature card for it to activate. So, you know, as early as next turn, we could be getting hit by an Emrakul, but our goal is to not let that happen. I guess this doesn't really matter. Okay. Black, black, not black. Oh, we want to use. We have to use both. We have to sack this. I mean, we could still make blue mana next turn, but that means I didn't need to bolt myself. That was a rookie mistake, as they say in Canada. Okay, we're gonna get a Balustrade Spy, which is always one to get because you can't. I guess I actually have 1 more mana, so I technically could get the Undercity Informer, but we will cast it. And again, the unique part of Bargain is this counts as a cast towards Vengevine, whereas like other things that might get something for free, you know, like you can't Coco into Undercity Informer or Court of Calling into one of these because that doesn't count as a cast trigger. Although, who knows, there could be a Court of Calling deck that plays this that somehow wins with the just with the Thassa's Oracle line. That would be interesting to explore someday. So 12 puts them down to 7, right? Yeah, they had only taken 1 damage, but they have no blockers and no interaction that I know of. If they have a surgical or something, they should use it now, but it doesn't look like that is going to happen. Was there a way? I was like 1 mana short of just being able to Thassa's Oracle instead of going through the whole combo this turn. Where's my Titan? There he is. Just make sure you never click your Jack-o'-lantern by accident. Uno, dos, tres. Oh hey, here's my Vengevines. They're so venged, they're so vine. They're only elementals. I thought they were plants for some reason. They look like plants. Clearly an earth-based elemental. So interesting, we're against a green-red deck. What could he have that interacts with the graveyard? This is a fun thought experiment here. I'll go ahead and just bring it up here. So we're probably not going to find this deck, right? Could look here. Ghost Vacuum only exiles a card, but that works to hit our Narcomoeba. This deck's playing blue, but he could maybe like Damping Sphere. That seems bad though. Let's see, what does Eldrazi Ramp play? Soulless Jailer, but that's can't cast. Yeah, he could be playing that. Just like looking through what decks. Let's look at Through the Breach. It's just somewhat similar. Stone Brain could be interesting. World Breaker. Goryos Vengeance. That's a weird art. Don't see what our opponent is playing anywhere in here. Done Delirium. I feel like this should be up higher. I feel like I've heard that's doing really well, but generic Ragavan, Gruul Prowess. Okay. I think we'll go ahead and bring in the prisons. Doesn't seem like Orum's Chants are really going to slow down their combo turn because they're just activating an artifact. Yeah. And I want to keep in my Thoracle plan because I'm not sure what they could bring in. They usually go down a Beseech or two and then a Charm Belcher, right? It feels bad to go down a Belcher against potential graveyard hate, but okay. And then another. They usually cut the Transformers, but I think I like them in with Static Prison. Whatever. We'll do 61. I'm running out of time. Again, I'm not an expert. I'm learning the deck. We're learning it together. Got their game 1 is nice. Like I said in the previous video, winning game 1 is pretty important with a deck like this. When you're kind of an all-in combo deck. If you're not winning game 1, then it's very hard to win because you are always going to face. This hand is closer than I thought at first look. It has 2 lands. It has a mana rock. It has a win con. It also technically has the win con that can win the next turn. Well, Amethyst, I assume you're watching this. I'm going to go ahead and keep because in my head, with 3 mana, I can play this. On my next turn, on my upkeep, I could activate it. And I still have 1 mana for Memory Journey and then another mana for Jolted Awake. So I actually could just win on turn 4 even without the Vengefine line. So the bad part about this, like you're like, oh, I could just use it the next turn. But if you use this the next turn, you haven't cast I don't even need to Memory Journey. That's another upside here. Yeah, we'll keep. I forgot. I'm holding Jolted Awake. So anyways, if you wait until your turn, if you cast this turn 3 and wait till turn 4 to activate, then you're not going to trigger your Vengefines when you bring back the Salvage Titan. But I can just Jolted Awake that turn. Obviously this is kind of useless, and so is this, but our opponent's mulliganing probably for Graveyard Hate. Let's see what they hit here. That's one downside to keeping this hand. I guess this hand beats the Ghost Vacuum. No, not if they wait till I cast Jolted Awake, I guess. But if they try to stop the Narcomoeba line, I guess they could hit Memory's Journey, but it's instant speed, so. Yeah, you exiled Devour, exiled Breach and Yggdrasil, and a ramp card. They already have 2 mana. Interesting. We'll play out this one. Turn 2, Razor, Transformer. And now we can just go for the turn 3 win because we drew a land. And obviously, again, like keeping 2 lands plus this plus win con, we're very likely to draw land. And 1 sword means 1 sword's fine because we're gonna have an artifact in play, so we can still sack 3. But it means you can't keep sword, and if this was beseech, because then you can't bargain and do Titan in the same turn. And 1 less creeping chill means it would be relevant if he like gained life and or had blockers. And I assume this isn't really going to be a blocker. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4. I assume we're actually just going to get breached on our turn 3 and die, but we're going to set up as if we weren't about to be killed and hope for the best. I entered led with Prism because it's a better one, I think. This enters tapped. Maybe I should have done that because I'm not planning to use the mana, but oh well. Like I said, seems pretty likely we're gonna get like breached or something this turn. What did he take? Sorry, I should have paid attention. Oh, he took the forest, so he just needed land. You have 5 mana. Why not go? I guess he doesn't have Emrakul, because I think putting us to 2 with no lands is a pretty good line. Drew the Spy. I think it's worth bolting ourselves to have an extra mana, and I'm just gonna go for the Spy so he can't respond. He doesn't have blue mana, so I'm not really worried about the trigger. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and leave a counter on this. Cast Spy, see what he does. We have Jolted Awake, so next turn we could win. We just have to Memory's Journey ourselves to not kill ourselves when we draw. I guess he could have, I forgot. Kozilek's Command can kill us after this. Depending on what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, he can make X3, so I can shuffle exactly 3 back in, right, with Memory's Journey? Okay, so I'm not technically dead to that. He has 1 blocker, but we should still do 12 damage. Is he going for the... He's going for Kozilek's Command. Wow, really good that we left open 1 mana. Yeah? Yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what we are doing. If that's what he's doing, then I have to win this turn. Because I can't Memory's Journey again. It's funny, I don't even have to exile my Jack-o'-lantern, though. I can just make green mana here. Is he doing the math now? Is he realizing? Oh no, he can exile cards from the graveyard too. I forgot that's the other mode. I might be dead. I'm trying to think. If he exiles 3 Vengefines and makes me draw cards, that's the mode that they should do. Then I put 3 cards back in my deck. Oh no. That's fine. Because I could just Jolted Awake. Again, this hand was perfect because I have the Jolted Awake. I just have to not die in response to this. Oh. Nope, he's trying to exile Thoracle, Narcomoeba. Oh, that's smart. Okay. Is there any way I could have played this differently? No, because this isn't instant speed. So by exiling Narcomoeba, I won't be able to trigger swords, which means I can't make this person understands this deck probably better than I do, I guess. I can't make Salvage Titan because the Narcomoeba is about to go away, He's making blockers, which is odd. I still think it should have just made me draw cards because I would have lost. So in response, is there anything I can do in response to this? I wish there was a better way to like see what it's targeting. Like this, I guess. So I can Memory's Journey, shuffle 3 cards up to 3 in my deck. If I shuffle the Narcomoeba, I can't cast it this turn. Next turn I could. Could I Narcomoeba and... I could shuffle Thoracle back in my deck, but I don't have a way to make 2 blue because I didn't lead on the Transformer like an idiot. I can make 1 blue with the Jack-o'-lantern. So I need to do like Thoracle plus... There's no other way for me to get my swords back. There's no other way for me to cast Titan this turn. So I think I have to Memory's Journey, shuffle back in the Thoracle, plus a Prism. If I draw the Prism for turn, I just cast it, pass the turn, hope to live, and then the next turn win. If I draw Thoracle for turn, I have to wait to draw the Prism. I think that's our best line. Thoracle, Prism. Just make 1 blue. Is there any way to then... Oh, I could discard Thoracle to Phantasmorgum and then Jolted Awake it. That's what I can do. So I don't need that. Just the Thoracle. Discard because I have plenty of cards to return Phantasmorgum and then Jolted Awake it. Okay. Oh, this is a lot of thinking. My brain. Okay, I have 1 card in my... yeah, whatever. They exiled the Narcomoeba and Avengevine. Okay. The thing is, we could very well just be dead. So, all of that math and thinking is just like relevant only if I don't die this turn. The one upside is, well, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I don't have enough permanents. I was like, I only need 1 land to Jolted Awake next turn, but I don't have a land in hand. If I had any land in hand, even if it was a black land, I could exile the... Okay, he can do this. He's going to exile. He doesn't have a creature in the graveyard yet, so it doesn't seem like we're dead. Okay. Okay. I guess he could have another... He has 1 card in hand, so we could be in trouble if he has another way to interact with this. Oh, did he hit the Phantasmorgum? No. Where is it? Why am I not seeing it highlighted here? Oh, it's at the bottom. Sorry. I need to discard this. I'll discard the sword and the creeping jail, I guess. I think it really makes a difference. Return to my hand. Man, this graveyard is sloppy. And then we'll see if this works. Okay, it's on the stack. There's a better way to like show the graveyard while also showing, I guess, like this maybe, the battlefield. Okay, we got there. I'm sorry that took me a while to figure out. Sorry, opponent. Good games. You did play well. I do think that the mistake on the opponent's part was they made the spawn tokens and they should have made us draw cards. If they did that and they had the same targets they had, no, they also should have hit the Phantasmorgan instead of the one Vengevine. So it should have been like Thoracle, Narcomoeba, this, and then in response I would have to shuffle 3 cards into my deck. I'd have to draw all 3, and so I'd be dead on my next draw step, and I wouldn't be able to discard this, have mana. Anyways, slight misplay, although they did play it smarter than I expected. That is one of the benefits of playing this deck versus Blue Belcher, where it's like, if they turn off your way to win, they've turned off your way to win. Here it's like, well, they did turn off one of our ways to win and targeted the other one, and we managed to finagle our way out of it. And like I said, if we didn't have Jolted Awake in hand, we would have had to put that back on top as well as the Thoracle, because they targeted it, and then we would have to survive 2 turns. So they would have gotten an activation off of the Yggdrasil to hopefully hit a big thing and then swing at us, which would have been worse. And also, I should have led. Maybe I shouldn't have led. What just happened? We got paired and it disappeared. Here we go. We're against Sisypho. 94. They were born in 94. They are 30 years old. Well, I guess it is November. Their birthday could be next month. We have 3 lands. We have 2 ramp. And we have a win con. This is what we call a keep. See, now our deck is showing us why, 67 cards. We're having the smoother draws. The one Vengevine's fine. We can discard that to Phantasmorgan. Well, this is less than ideal, but it is what we face. I assume they take the Undercity Informer. The rogue, as it were. If we don't have a win con, we'll lead on Transformer, we'll keep Fel the Profane in our hand, we'll play out Pentad the next turn, we'll maybe hard cast a Vengevine, we'll maybe cast this to remove one of their threats. They're playing white-black. I don't know. I guess they could be Mardu, maybe? There honestly aren't a ton of Thoughtseize decks lately that I've seen. But the opponent is trying to figure out what is going on over here. Yeah, they made the right pick. Typically, if you ever look at a hand of cards with a card like Thoughtseize and you're like, I have no idea what these cards do, or there's a card that you're like, I have no idea what this card does or how it works, that's usually the one you're supposed to take. If you know what ramp cards are, you know that these are flip lands, you know that Vengevine, actively is wanted in the graveyard, you take the one that does weird stuff. Who could it be? Oh, is this just Goryos? Just a more control-y start from Goryos. Be interesting. Interesting matchup. Don't want this guy in our hand. This is a very awkward draw now. Our one of that lets us discard cards and 2 cards we actively want to discard. But I know I said I'm going to lead on Transformer. We're going to lead on Pentad because we have the off chance of we can combo next turn with an extra mana, which, as you could saw, is sometimes important. Why do we have to draw this guy? They hit a Goryos and some lands. I assume they take the Goryos. Yep. Now they just need to discard something, and we can die. I guess I'm going to hold this up or play this out. Those are my 2 options. I also could just play this and start attacking. The thing is, I can't really play the second one. How likely am I to draw a win con? 1 in 5.7, 1 in 6. It's not great. I think I'm just going to hold this up, play this out, and hope to draw a win con this turn. I think swinging for 4 Like, it isn't fast enough that we're gonna survive, most likely. They have 6 cards in hand. They have a lot of resources. We're gonna hope that, like, maybe they brick or they play out a frog and I can hit it, and then maybe next turn... I guess next turn I need a land to win, so... I don't know. I don't know what's the most correct play. It's always easier when rewatching. Don't usually draw this one. Is this worse than Narcomoeba? No. It's better to draw that than Narcomoeba, but not when you're holding 2 Vengevine. Well, I did make a frog. The thing is, destroying it doesn't actually stop it from discarding cards, so I actually don't think I want to hit frog. I'd rather be able to try to combo this turn. This is nice. So yeah, we'll play this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This puts us up to 7 mana. So I'm just going to go ahead and play that, because now if we draw a Belcher, or we could also like beseech for Belcher and win. I guess I could have bolted myself to make him not able to attack, but I'm not really worried about him attacking. I think I'm just gonna... I can't Orange Chant. If I Orange Chant on his upkeep, he just Goryos in response. I think I'm gonna try to kick it, I guess. Which puts me down to 6 lands, which is not ideal, I guess. So like I said, I think they just Goryos in response, but it means they don't get to like ephemerate it. Is the big thing that sucks about Atraxa. What do you reveal? So for sorcery, he's taking the Thoughtseize. Either he chooses Thoughtseize, Plains, and Force. You can't do that, sir. It's trying to ephemerate. See? That is, that's why we did that. Interesting draw. Do I want to spend my energy and whatever to get this into play? It doesn't seem worth it. I also could just make Phantasmorgian. I think I want to keep this counter because it could cast a Thoracle off of the blue and blue from this. I don't think it's worth playing these out. We know they have Force. We hope they don't have... I mean, this is going to kill us too. I don't know. Maybe it's best to make them start exiling cards, give it flying, by playing out a big 6/6, and then they have to chump block and stuff. Honestly, anything in my hand I'd rather be in my graveyard, so this is great. Thank you for taking 2 damage and helping us out. This is my graveyard. It's easier to cast. I don't have to keep this. I can just make a white mana and Jolt to Awake it. This is in the graveyard. I could discard my Vengevines, which is where I want them. Archaeologists, they're hoping to hit another, what's it called? Goryos. They didn't hit another Atraxa, at least. We don't have infinite turns, but we're surviving longer than expected. They have 7 cards in hand. Oh, they took the ending. That's interesting. I could like ending my rocks or something. This card of Solitude, that makes sense. It's not really doing much in this matchup. But they get to draw a card. Did they hit a land? Hit a land. Okay, what do we draw? This is an instant speed, so I don't think we're ever going to be able to use it to stop them from getting an Atraxa, but it's probably worth playing. forces them to, because it exiles the graveyard, they can't then give this flying, so this could like buy us a whole turn and a half, so to speak. So that's nice. I guess technically we could go green, green, cast a Vengefine, and maybe race them if they swing and don't discard cards. The problem is this could randomly just jump to 10 one turn, so we really have to jump it. Look at a Solitude exiling the Prismatic Ending. Okay. Interesting. We get to gain, what, 1 life? It's toughness, right? No, it's power. Well, that's nice. They're ephemerating their Solitude. Okay. Sorry, my mouse is... If you try to follow my mouse and it's wiggling around, it's not me. It's because my mouse is dying, and I... What can they hit with this? I just realized. I cost creature. I guess if I draw Beseech or Belcher, it's not really live. Which means I have to hit one of my other 7 rogues. Uh-oh. They hit a Atraxa. I assume they still have a Goryos in hand. I think if they Goryos here, I think it's just time to concede. Yeah. 7 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They should. I guess I'll wait, but they're hitting us for 10 already. They only need to. They can go up to 12. Plus what? They got a creature, sorcery, land, instant. So 6 onto this would make this a 9 power. They're 1 short. Can put me to 1. I guess I'm not technically dead, but I can't kill them with... My creeping chills keep me alive. That could be 10 plus 3, 13 damage. Yeah. Of course I draw the Beseech. I guess we'll try it. We know they're holding 4 still, right? And Psychic Frog. What do they pick? Chooses Atraxa. They discarded the Atraxa. Because we don't know for sure they have a blue card. Okay. One of these has to be black mana, so we'll do that one. Cast with Bargain, sack this. I think the Atraxa they got, they discarded, so... Okay, they did. They had Tainted Indulgence. Great. Then we're good. I don't have any way to interact with that. Well, Thoughtseize is good against us. No surprise there. Sorry, we don't need that. I think we're taking in packs and chance here and not the static prisms. I think the Thoracle package, well, I don't know. They do gain life when they Atraxa, but I guess I'm trying to win before they Atraxa is the point. Do I keep it in or not? That's hard to say. Against a Counterspell and Thoughtseize deck, I think we normally don't. Keep it in. So that would be these cards. But we definitely want to... I think we want to keep in the white lands. Tale of Transformers. So 2 tap lands, 1 more. A Beseech and a Belcher. And 2 Transformers. And then we take out potentially these 3 plus 2 more rocks, which are usually the talismans, I think. We can just split it though. If I want to keep this in, what can I side out? guess I couldn't go. I could go not all in on packs. Packs are only good at protecting my combo. They're not good against discard. They're not good on their turn because I can't really win on my upkeep because Jolt's Awake is an instant speed. Maybe I don't do packs and I just do the Orim's Chance and keep Thassa's Oracle. I don't know if that's correct. We'll ask Amethyst how I do. What is this? Is this game 3 or game... No, it's game 2. We lost game 1. Not ideal, but you know, Thoughtseize. Tammy's Churn needs a little awkward. 2 win cons a little awkward. Only 2 lands, no ramp. We have less ramp. Think we mulligan, but we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. We have our one of. Can't keep one land, I don't think. Especially on the play. Unfortunate. Let's have a perfect 5, please. What a weird art on Jolted Awake. There's the point that they were all sleeping and that one got woken up, and if they're sleeping, why are they sleeping curled up in balls? Because they look human. Very strange. And the jolt is coming from like a current, it looks like. I don't know. Or are they all ducking the current and this guy didn't? So got him. Confusing. Our opponent is spending a lot of time. To be fair, last game we spent a lot of time on the clock, but confusing that they are right now spending all this time. After sideboarding, I guess they're choosing whether or not to mulligan, but sieges are definitely worse to force negation. Maybe we just cut Belcher's all the way. This one. Oh yeah, I could have actually looked at Goryos lists. Mystical Disputes, Wrath of Skies is pretty useless. Damping Spheres, kind of meh. Spell Bombs and Consigns. They can't consign him, but they can consign the Creeping Chills and Narcomoeba triggers or the Vengeful triggers. Obviously, the easy one is just to trigger that, consign that. And Pact isn't very good against consign. We'd much rather have the Orim's Chance, so. I'm getting so much spam about this election. Heyo, I figured it out. They kept 7. I was like, ooh, a keep, but this isn't a win con. So close. I don't think we can keep a no win con hand in this matchup. Maybe we do. It's a Thoughtseize matchup. I can't really afford to go down to 4. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. You can tell me if I'm wrong. I guess I don't see the benefit of we go down to like a perfect 4 and then they just take our win con and we're in basically the same position but also down a land or a ramp card. So I assume they didn't take out their, Thoughtseizes. They took out removal against us, I'm sure. I want to keep the Witch Enchanter just in case it's like, surprise, they're playing Stone of Eric or something. I don't know. Plus it's a castable 2/2. This makes 2 angels, which would be nice. He hit a Thoughtseize, Ephemerate, and a land. He takes the Thoughtseize. Hopefully he picks that one. Do I want to bolt myself just to play out a 2/2 right now? It's probably not worth it. Maybe it is. I'm probably not going to get up to 6 mana, so I'll do that. I assume he just takes like Fell the Profane. I don't know. Either one of my lands. It's another reason to play out the Amiria there. Want double white for Orm's Chant, possibly. I guess I also kind of want a third black source for Beseech, although I cut down on them. So maybe I should have played Fell the Profane, because I already had double white with Talisman. Well, he took the one card we can return from the graveyard, so interesting strategy. I guess it is technically a threat that we're still 2 turns away from casting. Hey, that's a pretty good draw. Now, what does he have? Can I play around it? I think we do bolt ourselves because of, like we saw before, I think having 1 extra mana up behooves us. Just in case he has some sort of interact with the graveyard card, like a surgical or something, we can respond by making green mana with our Jack-o'-lantern. Oh, MTGO had a little dance for you there. That was fun. Everyone likes a dancing Magically Online. No responses so far. Looking good? Question marks. Yes, we would like to use our Narcomoeba. This is so much faster in paper. Well, it isn't. It isn't. You do have to like find all the cards, but typically I flip the whole deck over. I spin it towards my opponent. I show them that this is my deck. Let me know if you want to look at anything. I'll answer any questions because I'm not trying to like hide information from them. But usually they're kind of like, okay, and then I'm like, okay, these are my triggers, right? I take out all the Creeping Chills and the Narcomoeba. And then I say, okay, I'm activating Salvage Titan. And then they're like, okay. And then I'm like, I'm going to cast Salvage Titan. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, this triggers all the Vengevines. And they're like, oh, wait. And it's like, yeah, the first creature I cast was the Undercity Informer. This is my second creature for the turn. And they're like, oh, I see. It's like, yep. So I wonder if they just wanted to see it. Like, they didn't know how it worked until just now. I do wonder if it's right to just fully cut Belcher and maybe go up 1 on this. I'm also tempted to maybe go up on a land into the Thoughtseizes. Yeah. I don't know. Nah, I'll just keep it. I'll just keep it like that. We won this way, we'll keep it this way. We'll just trust that this is lucky. My lucky 60. Even if it's not correct. Is this our last match? Or 1 and 2? This is our 4th one. Do we want to keep a no-win con hand again? No. Not at 7, obviously. I like the full house here, though, of the new uncommons. We have had a lot of Creeping Chills in our hand. Let's just point that out. This is our worst win con. We have no ramp. We only have 2 win. I mean, we have 2 win cons. Sorry, we don't have any. We could tuck this one. This is fine in the hand. This is fine in the hand. What are the chances? We need to draw a Talisman or something to have Beseech even work. So we're really just trying to spy. We have to draw 2 lands in. That's still a turn 4. I just feel like that's not. Let me know. Let me know. I'm going to screenshot this one and say, is this a keep? Let's see what the Discord says. If you haven't already, there is a link to Discord in every one of my videos. It's the Oops All Spells Discord. It's one of the most fun, friendly Magic Discords I've ever been part of. I guess we can't cast this, so do we just tuck it? Although it's a very good card, or do we tuck a land and hope? Against Thoughtseize, I guess I'd rather keep my lands. Anyways, it's a very active Discord, helpful Discord, a lot of fun. I am a mod on there. There is a place to just talk about sweet brews that aren't oops all spells. Typically any combo deck. We have a lot of people in the Discord who just enjoy combo decks in Modern. But even like one of the most active people there plays a lot of mono white Martyr and mono white control decks, you know, the Field of the Ruin nonsense. The ones that are really good against these. Well, we're going to lose our spy. But we hope to draw another. Or an Informer. Beseech is worse, but not undoable. Okay, Surveil, keep top. Keep top. That's useless. We'll play out the white source here, so we don't have to bolt ourselves to cast like an Orange Chant or a Pented Prism next turn. We'll see. I mean, they could go Frog into Goryos next turn. Like, they got a lot of good draws. Archaeologist hits an Atraxa. Not a Goryos, at least. I wonder if they kept that top, or they had something else top. Keep up a fetch. We got the Pentad. I think I actually, because I don't have a win con yet, and because there's one in the graveyard, I want to go ahead and get rid of this Atraxa. I mean, I guess they could have a, like, consign for the trigger, but, which they should do if they had it, because getting an Atraxa is way better than holding a consign in their hand, but they did not, and we're not even 100% sure they brought it in, even though it can mess up our combo. It can counter this guy, the Balustrade Spy. We're probably going to be done after this match. Hopefully we win it, and hopefully we go 2-2 into the last match. Draw 2, then discard. They did hit the Atraxa. Did they also have the Goryos? Land plus Goryos. Ooh, okay, I was bracing myself there. I was ready. I was ready to get Goryos. Win con? Nope. You're not a win con. How much mana do I need to get back my spy? Return from a graveyard to the battlefield any number of creatures. So we have to cast this for 7 mana. I guess we're not. Do I want to hold up Fel the Profane? Or this could be a win con. We're trying to win games here, not control, right? So we'll do this. We'll play out Fel the Profane. 3, 4, 5. We'll be at 6. So next turn we could actually Agadeems to return the Balustrade Spy, I guess. It's a stretch. I guess we swing. There's no reason not to. If he blocks, we just kill it. So, you know, that's something. What's he doing in response to a swing? Oh, is he Goryosing? Shoot. No, okay. I was like, why? Yeah. I just realized Goryosing wouldn't make any sense without 1 more mana for Ephemerate, so he would have done that in his turn. He just wanted to do Tainted Indulgence in response. And he takes the hit down to 10. Woohoo! Maybe we just try to hardcast Salvage Titan. Beat down plan. We have the Goryos. Yep, can't really respond. So I'm just going to pass the turn, let him do his thing. It's going back up to 17. He's likely going to hit an Ephemerate. He did hit an Ephemerate. We'll assume that he's not taking one of these fetches. I don't know. He gets a... We're assuming he's going to take the Ephemerate. So he took Ephemerate, he took a Marsh Flats. Thoughtseize and Atraxa. That's a pretty good hand there. So he Thoughtseizes this away. We lose out on that plan, but maybe he misses that this can do that. We still need to top deck a... Yep, there we go. He just made a bunch more. It probably takes the consign here, plus... probably not another Ephemerate. if I'm correct. Probably not the Tainted Indulgence either. But I'll wait until he's done officially choosing. Opponent is thinking real hard. Guess they're only 4 minutes down on clock compared to us, although we did have to click through our combo last turn. I was really expecting to look up for my phone and then be done. These ones are in their hand. They still haven't played that out. They played an ephemerate, so then I assume they're not keeping this. They have to keep this. Oh no. They're probably going to keep the frog over the Flage. They're probably keeping a force or consign over this ephemerate. Maybe they take a second Thoughtseize over Prismatic Ending, because this doesn't really do much against us, but still waiting. If they get a frog, they could have lethal next turn. They just need to discard 2 cards to it and then give it flying, and then even with a blocker, we're dead on board. So they did keep a second Thoughtseize. They did... Why did you do that? The Psychic Frog, and they took the Force and Negation. Interesting. And they're casting the Thoughtseize, and then the Plains. Yep. So no Tainted Indulgence either. They cast one of these. They played the... They didn't play Marsh Flats. They played a Delta. Second Thoughtseize. Okay, come on, mouse. Stop floating around. So I know they have Force. They know they have a way to Force. We aren't dead on board. That's not what we're looking for. We obviously are not swinging. We might as well... This technically puts us at 13, and we're still dead to 2 attacks, so I guess if we draw one more Creeping Chill, it gives us one more draw. But now we're passing back to them where they'll have a full untapped... They already have a full hand of cards. Oh, are they going to rebound Atraxa? If they do that, it gives us more time. I don't think they should. They should just rebound this guy, yeah. They didn't take him, sorry. They have the frog. So we know that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of their cards are these. They just made him bigger. They didn't choose a Goryos. Interesting. Okay. Track sites it's down to 6. I assume they play out the frog. Be surprised to not see the frog come down. Yep. 6 cards in hand. We don't half of them. I didn't want a Goryos. Prismatic are... Yeah, Pentad Prism. That's fine. So they didn't take a Prismatic from here, but they already had one. So they're holding up Force plus maybe a... they already have a consign in hand, but... I think that's game. That's game. GG's opponent. There it was. Oh, that's so frustrating. Especially because this one got around consign and force. That's the draw we needed. We were 1 short. It'll be interesting to look back because we were 2 life away from surviving that. Well, no, I could give that flying and discard 4, so never mind. If this had flying or something, and I would have played that instead of this, I don't know. What else could we have done different? Could have played out the Agademes instead of Fellow Profane. And fell this in response to the Ephemerate. Right? We had that opening there where I went to try to have a win con in hand and instead he got 2 Thoughtseizes. Maybe. Maybe. Do I want to... Well, let's go ahead. Why not? Let's jump in. I know this league's a wash, but again, like I could have won these matches. Lost because of misplays. Felt good in this match. I felt like I played well in this match, but when we lose that game 1, it's pretty hard to win. And Thoughtseize, Thoughtseize is just good against us, especially game 1. But fun deck. There are definitely decisions. Here we go, our last opponent. Hopefully we have some fun, fast games where we get to combo. Turn 3. Turn 3 win? I would like 1 turn 3 win, please. Oh look, we tied twice. We both rolled 6, we both rolled 5, I rolled another 6. It's Gigantha. Well, it should be fast. Wow, look at this hand. All artifacts. Looking like Affinity out here. That's a mole, in case you didn't know. 0 land, 0 win cons. Not a keep. 1 land, 0 win cons. Also not a keep. I can say this confidently. 100%. Don't keep this hand. Ever. Pretty easy there to figure that one out. Opponent is thinking. They're thinking. They apparently have more thoughts than we do. Hope you like my background music. If you're part of any online communities, which I assume you are, because you're here on YouTube, so if you're in Discord, if you're Reddits, etc., like, don't use the internet as a place to spew nonsense. The open internet. If you got, groups of friends, trusted groups, whatever, or you're part of a community that makes a safe place for that, then by all means, please do. But if you're just part of, for instance, a Magic community, don't make that a place where you just get to spew thoughts and opinions about people's rights and politics and stuff. It's just like we all have the same access to media, to internet, as everyone else. And if we are looking to have those kind of discussions, there are so many places to go where that is all people are talking about. Don't make the places that people go to escape reality about reality. Don't be that person. That's our special broadcast for today. Our PSA. We're really hoping to draw a land. Although, because we have the beautiful Pentad Prism and a white and black source, we can just win next turn, even without a land. The 1 chill is less than ideal, and obviously Ragavan's going to exile something, so we're hoping that that's not important. So probably, like, if they go Raptor into another blocker here, it might be tight. They got another Spy. Ooh. They are 1 mana short of casting our own Spy back at us, which would be very awkward. We would gain the life still and stuff, and we wouldn't die. We'd set up for a Jolted Awake win, but... Okay, they got Goddess Souls into Ocelot. Wow. What a start. So let me just point out right here. Blue Belcher is not beating this. In my experience. I guess there's technically, if I was on the play, was I on the play? Yeah. I could whir this turn and win next turn, but he's going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have to bolt myself twice, so no. I don't think there's any line that could beat this from this card. But because we aren't doing that. So we'll go ahead and cast this one. Don't think it really makes much of a difference, honestly. We're not going to beat them with combat damage. I think we still go through that part of the combo. And then next turn because we likely, we have 1 white land, we can use this land to filter mana and do the memory journey, and then this one for Jolted Awake. And because we gain 9 life, we should be fine to survive and win next turn. Notably, this line won't win through what's it called? Through a blood moon. So that is important to note. I guess I can leave a Pentad Prism in there. Because the question is here is like, do I attack or do I just hold them all back as blockers at this point? I guess I attack. Let's make them think this is our only way so that they don't spend a turn making a Blood Moon and try to make a bunch more blockers. They can't hit us with enough first strike to kill one, so they have to chump block. They don't have to chump block two, because they did gain a bunch, and because we're holding a chill. So yeah, upkeep, we Jack-o'-lantern, Memory Journey, we target, where she be, Jolted Awake, and then we cast that with the white mana. So we have to make sure we tap everything correctly. We have a blocker for Ragavan. I guess we can let him hit us. Does he? He's going to create treasure and exile. So he doesn't exile anything if he hits me, but he still gets the treasure token. Okay. I think that means we win. I don't think there's a way for them to win with this. Let's hope. We're almost there. What could this be? Who could it be? They're getting a kitty cat. Look at all the kitty cats. So many kitty cats. Kitty cat and a cowboy hat. If you're old enough to have played Xbox Live back on the Xbox 360 and play Halo 2, I think they kept the emblem through the games, but that was when they first... Was it in the original Halo? I don't think it was the original Halo. It was Halo 2 when they first introduced one of the emblems was a kitty cat with a cowboy hat. He's going to give God of Souls flying. I'm going to still block it. You know, on the principle that I can. I don't know. Why not? Double block. Haha. Can only kill one of them. I don't know if our opponent realizes like we're at 0 cards. We have to have some way to not die in our upkeep. I mean, draw phase. Like, have they looked? I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Here we go to our turn. We're gonna win with Jolted Awake. So now I get to, you know, use the new thing I learned already in this league and sideboard out our Vengefine plan. And go all in on the Thorcoin. Hey look, that's a few kitty cats. Kitty cats. You make green, we cast Memory's Journey, we target ourselves. It's weird they target first. Just let me target the card. Always feels like iffy. Like I'm always like, did I click it right? With selected memory, there's just so many times that like one little misclick cost me a game that I'm like very wary of, like, you know, not thinking and targeting Thoracle instead and killing myself because of it. But we did it right. We win. Okay. So we want to go -4 Vine, -3 Swords, minus Narco and Titan. And then we can keep in all the lands and rocks. And just try to flip our deck and win. So we're going prisons. Do we keep Orm's Chance? I think so. Maybe we cut. I don't really need Phantasmorgian either, right? It doesn't make Creeping Chills work. Yeah, that feels nice and clean. We still have 2 orange chants. We get to bring in our 3 prisons and keep all our lands. So we're actually a land heavy now because now we're playing 24 lands in 60 cards to 67. But we have to sideboard out these 10 cards that we don't want / need because we're not likely to win through combat damage. We keep in the chills. We still want to flip our deck, and chills buy us that turn we need to then win with Thassa's Oracle. Our opponent is likely going to bring in what? I'm just making notes for myself on the sideboard plan. I'll eventually hopefully put this together. -4 Vengevine, -3 Sword, -Narco, -Titan, and Phantasmorgian, right? That's the only other card, yeah. Four, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring in 3. Yeah, perfect. We have a plan. I'm just gonna look quickly what energy is usually playing in the sideboard now. Fear, fire foes. Damage can't be prevented. Seems useless. Ghost Vacuum. Ghost Vacuum is good against even our sideboard plan. This is a 1-lander, so we're not keeping. Dranith Magistrate. We can only cast spells from our hands. That would turn off Beseech, so that's relevant. Raven Charm. Exiles our graveyard. Okay, they got a couple different things that can. Orange Chant. If they Orange Chant and our upkeep in response to like Memory's Journey, we're screwed. So they have quite a few potential. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in this most recent list that pops up that went 8-1. Then there's this Modern Challenge second place. Yeah, has more orange hand. They have Soul Guide Lantern, which is better. Exercise is worse. They got 4 White Orchid Phantom. They should be playing that now instead of the Charma, because of the other deck we were playing. This will be interesting. I think this is a keep. Yeah, I think it's a keep. Which thing do we get rid of? Turn 1, we just get rid of 1 land, I suppose. We'd have 1, 2, 3 lands and a prism, so we can cast it and then activate it the next turn. Yeah. We'll tuck the. We still have 2 white sources, 2 black sources, and a prism. Yeah, we'll do this. See how it goes. Might just Orange Chant preemptively. It'd be interesting if he brought in Graveyard Hate, and we get to just cast a Belcher. And this gets around Dranith Magistrate as well if they're doing that. Obviously, if they have White Orchid Phantom, this is worse. Although, I mean, we did draw another land. But we won't be able to, because we're on the draw, we won't be able to Penta Prism onto if they kill our land, which is unfortunate. Lay left top, so they like what they're about to draw. That was a interesting, great start from our opponent for us. I don't think I've ever seen such a slow start. Now the question is, do we go for the Undercity Informer to set up Thassa's Oracle, or do we just try to cast Belcher next turn? I think I'm tempted just to go for Belcher because they saw all this other stuff and likely brought in Graveyard Hate, and this wins without our graveyard. But let's wait and see what they do. We got 3 lands in graveyard, 2 lands in play, and 5 cards in hand. They kept us 7 and haven't done anything since. Maybe this is a Belcher, or not Belcher, a Blood Moon. Plains looks like Blood Moon, but they could have had 2. It is a Blood Moon. I don't know why they think that's good against us, especially when this is in play. If this was before that came down, also I could just kill it if I wanted to. I guess with... Oh, I took out Vengevine. I was like, let's just win this turn. It's like, no, I can't win this turn. Because I took out the ability to do so. Do I just show him that this doesn't matter? No. I'll just cast Belcher. If he removes it, we can go for we can still set up with 1 white mana here. Oh, we need the black mana too. Well, maybe that was wrong. Eh. You know what I'm gonna do? What could he have that deals with this? Is it instant speed? Whatever. We're just gonna do this. Let's say you cast no spells. Do you have an instant speed way to kill this? Because if not, I win on my upkeep. Cool. Good game. Good games, opponent. Good games. They're mountains. If only the cards in our deck were mountains, too. I mean, I guess I could see how you'd think this is good when I'm trying to make black and white. But it's like I play Pented Prisms. I think you saw Pented Prism game 1. And I only cast 1 card, and it only takes 1 black mana. And this time I didn't need any colored mana. Hey, we got the consolation win. So there you have it. Obviously, me sideboarding correctly and playing correctly looked a lot better, especially against energy. That was a pretty easy 2-0. It felt like we were winning the whole time. This game was close, and I do think, I'll go back, I'll rewatch this too and see what the experts say. But in this video we went 2-1 with some close play, and we could have won both of these if we knew what we were doing in the first video. So this could have been a 4-1 league very easily if someone else was piloting versus myself. So I am gonna do another league with it. It does feel like it's pretty well tuned. I don't think we need the second Narcomoeba because I didn't understand how well the Thassa's Oracle line works. And I liked being able to sideboard out the bench fine there. The only things I'm curious about is like the two. I'm always looking to tune lists. I come to decks knowing very little. I get the grasp of them pretty quickly. That's why I like teaching people how to play them. 3 Besiege and 2. Where is he? I can't. It's so hard to see here. I'm so used to pictures. Belcher seems interesting. The math there is what I'm interested on. Is it worth going up to a 4th Besiege? Is it worth going up a Belcher? Is it worth playing more Belcher in the 75? Less? When they bring in. There's more graveyard hate than any other than just counter magic. The nice thing is lots of counter magic doesn't hit Undercity Informer doesn't hit Battleship Spy, and even less hits the Informer because people are playing Consigns and Force Negations and Commandeers, and that's really nice. So anyways, hope you enjoy. Have a fantastic day.